take your bandsaw to work day. So I'm here on a fairly ordinary kind of kitchen fit. I'm not shooting any video of this because, to be honest, it's a bit boring. I haven't made anything. I'm just installing this stuff that's pre-manufactured. But somebody I've done some work for before was getting messed about by fitters, so I jumped in, and it's all taken a bit longer than planned. But while I'm waiting for the other trades to sort themselves out, if you've ever done a kitchen, you spend lots of time hanging around for electricians and plumbers and other trades to do their bit, solid surface worktops and all that. There's a few other bits and pieces throughout the house that clients asked me to take a look at, and it's a lovely big space, a bit echoey probably. The house was two flats, two apartments. It's been reconverted into a nice big family home, and we're slowly working their way around the ground floor, getting things tidied up. Got a nice hardwood floor down. They've had skirting boards done, not by me, and the clients just asked me to take a look at a few bits and pieces. Now, I'm not one to criticise other guys' work. You never quite know the circumstances in which the work was done. I'm sure somebody else could take a look at my work and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and say, well, why I would have done it that way, or why did you do that way? But by the same token, when you do a job, you've got to do it to the best of your ability, because at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, nobody is going to care about the circumstances that you did it in. They don't care that you worked late to finish it off. All they've got is the job. And I'll just show you a couple of these little bits and pieces, because as I say, I'm not one to criticise, but the skirting boards, difficult in a house of this sort of age. It's got more echoey. But down here, let's just see, we've got some nice big old cast iron radiators, but underneath, you see what they've done? They've just hacked out a section of the skirting board with a chisel. Under there it's not too bad because you don't see it too much, but down at this end, look at that. And this is in the customer's sitting room, their lounge. This is where they're going to sit and watch TV and have a cup of tea after dinner or whatever else. That's, once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. So, not unreasonably, oops, let's put myself out. Not unreasonably, my client's not terribly happy with it, and she's asked me to have a go at tidying that up. Now, we have done one of those already, but doing the sort of the fine, fiddly cuts, especially with a hole in the centre of it for the pipework, that's pretty hard to do on something like a chop saw. And I was trying to figure out what the best thing to use would be. And I thought, ideally you do that with a bandsaw, but you'd have to cut those bits roughly to size and then measure it all very carefully. And then the penny dropped. I've actually got a really small bandsaw. Why don't I take it on site and we can do it here? And that's what I'm going to do now. So unfortunately there's not a huge amount of skirting board left, but there are a few little sort of scraps and bits and pieces. It's a bit of an odd profile actually. It's a bit like a Victorian, but with an extra couple of lumps in it, and it's also an odd height. We've had to extend a bit at the back to make it taller. But what we can do, we can take our little scrap of skirting board and offer it up to the radiator. So it's all extremely dark in this corner, I'm afraid. But what we've got to do, and echoing, what we've got to do, we've got a little scrap of, a little offcut of skirting board here, baseboard. We can get that roughly in line, put a pencil mark where the bottom goes to, and approximately where the other side of the pipe is. And then we can also mark the approximate width. So back here at my little portable bench, we can square up that we think the cut's going to be. Oops, do it that way around. So even though I know the pipework is only 15 millimeters, I'm using a 20mm bit to give ourselves enough clearance. It's tempting to try and make it tighter, but what happens with the pipes, of course, is that they expand, which does you no good at all. Not quite. I think this whole bench has seen better days. What do you think? Future project? So with that nibbled away, and you can see what I mean. This would be really hard to make that cut out on almost any other kind of saw. You could probably use a hand saw actually, but yeah, a lot of that. With one quick cut to width, I've taped the remainder to an offcut of the board so I can make the final cut to length safely. After a bit of cleaning up around the radiator with a chisel, I can fit our infill neatly into position. There we go. Now that is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but with a little bit of filler, that will be infinitely better than what was there before. We'll glue that in with a little bit of grab adhesive. Ooh. If I can get it out. That might be a challenge. Classic. Okay, well, we'll glue that in two pieces. And with some grab adhesive all around, our little wooden plug can be carefully snugged into place, all ready for the painter. So what a great little thing. I must admit, before I got this, it would never have occurred to me to consider taking a bandsaw to a job site. You know, I know some guys mount a jigsaw upside down as a sort of temporary thing, but this has got so much more control and so much more accurate. Yeah, terrific little thing. It occurs to me as well, I'm walking around with a pair of these quick clamps. These clamps cost as much as this whole bandsaw. What a world, hey? That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it amongst your friends, and do consider subscribing if you're new here. Then you'll be notified whenever I post something new. But for this week, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you know a plumber or an electrician, let me know. I've got to get this kitchen finished. See ya.